Hey there, everybody. Good morning. Gosh, I did not want to get out of bed this morning. I did not. I was just laying in bed and I'm like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. And I don't like the light the way it's coming in. So, time out. I'm going to fix the light. Okay. All right. That's better. That's better. This is hitting me wrong. And I was like, that's not good either. So, yeah, I have been awake for just a few minutes and I was sitting here and trying to figure out what the heck I was going to talk about, and everybody was coming and going. My awesome children this morning who have started their own company, they came to borrow mom's car, and yeah, so they came flying through here because they needed a bigger car to get done what they were trying to get done, because my daughters are entrepreneurs as well, and they're off and running this morning. So there they go. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is here? Who is banging on my front door? And it's my kids banging on my front door. So I was like, I guess I need to get up anyway and go do conscious coffee, because that's what I'm supposed to do this morning, right? That's what you're supposed to do, is everything that's on your task list. Not necessarily, but I love doing conscious coffee with you guys. And it's definitely something that I look forward to. And I was just laying in bed and I was looking at different things, you know, just kind of thinking about different things that need to be done to finish off this year. And when we get to this time of the year, I tend to look at all the things that need to get closed up. I don't know, maybe you are the same, but you know, there's just seems like there's so much hustle and bustle, and there's new stuff coming in because it's Christmas time. So we've got presents and gifts and new, and it's party and socializing and all this different stuff. It's a really tough time of the year to make decisions and to push forward on stuff. But at the same time, what follows is the new year. I mean, we are a week away from 2019. Oh my God. I realized somebody said 2019 to me the other day, and I was like, wow, that seems like it was so far away, and here it is already 2019. And it's just one of those things that I think every single year, you know, I remember it being 2000, you know, the year would 2000 and all the stuff that was supposed to happen. Remember, our world was supposed to crash 19 years ago. And I look back and I go, oh my gosh, you know, that was already 19 years ago. And all the stuff before, and it's just like time just kind of flies by and does this stuff, right? Where our life just goes boom, 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 boom. And each new year we start to look at what needs to be done. I have these goals. I have these things that I want to get accomplished. And much like yourself, I have goals. I have dreams for 2019. You know, I have these tasks that I want to get completed, and I've got my eyes set on the big prize over here. And I've been looking at, like, what is it that I need to get done to be able to accomplish, to be able to succeed at achieving the goals that I have. One of the things that I always come back to, no matter what my goal is for the coming year, is that I really need to get shit accomplished right here, right now. And to get that shit accomplished means that, you know, you just got to kind of get in there and look at the pieces. And just much like cleaning a house, you've got to go through and, like, start. You don't want to, you know, dust. You don't want to vacuum before you dust. And that's kind of where it's at. You got to look at what needs to be accomplished, but in what order things need to get accomplished, so that number one, you get everything taken care of properly, so you don't have to go back and do things 2-3 times, right? Because that's a time waster. And the other thing is that you want to make sure that you get all the important things done. So prioritize, because there's plenty of things that you might feel like you need to get done to enter the new year with confidence and clarity and enthusiasm. But is that true? Is that true? Quite often there is so much that we don't have to really get accomplished. Just all this small little shit that doesn't matter. And it's really important to just kind of sit down and look and see, hey, what are all the things that I feel like I need to get done? Because the more we have piled up on us, and the word that I've been hearing a lot, I mean, I even did a conscious coffee a week ago, 2 weeks ago on it, was overwhelm. And I hear a lot from my clients and from friends right now at this season how overwhelmed they are, how much overwhelmed they're feeling. And the feeling of overwhelm is very simple, that it is our inability. When we're feeling overwhelmed, we have the inability of receiving, of opening up to our blessings. The things that we're wanting to manifest are trying to get in, but we're blocking. And here's what we're blocking with. We're normally blocking with a whole bunch of little shit that does not matter. So if you're feeling that overwhelm and you're going, what is it that I need to get done? It's time to just sit down and get very clear and write with yourself, and just start writing down the 1,000 things that you think you need to get accomplished to actually achieve what you want, and then go back and prioritize the shit out of that list. Really truly look at it as though it was a values list, and you're going to go back and you're going to go, what do I value the most on this list? What's the biggest, highest ticket item on this list that I need to take care of? Take care of that first. Like, really prioritize. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and really just look at, like, how, depending on what's on your list, how long your list is, I would say try to tackle at the top 10 to 15 items on there. And hopefully those 10 to 15 items are going to give you the ability to really clear that space. Because if you get focused on all the little shit, if you get focused on that, I see a whole bunch of people popping on here. Good morning, Lance. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Addison, Ray, Michael Harris. Okay, good morning, guys. So if you focus in on that little shit, then the little shit's going to take up all your time. It's going to take up all your energy, and it's going to put you into a sourpuss mood. That's the fact of the matter. All that little stuff, if you really think about it, is probably going to put you into a crappy mood. We're accomplishing the big ticket items on your list, as I refer to them, is probably going to get you into a state of feeling good about where you're at, feeling good about the things that you've got going on. So that was big accomplishments of like, yes, I got this done. Yes, I got that done. And I speak to you from a place of like, this is what I am doing, so I am sharing it with you, right? Conscious coffee to me is all about being very raw, very, upfront, and you kind of get a taste of like what's going through, where's she moving, what, like those different things. And I haven't felt overwhelmed. I have felt a little bit of anxiety, frustration, nervousness even around the new year, and looking at all the different things that I really need to get accomplished. So I've been trying to tackle those things, like making sure that any courses that I want to launch for December, January are ready to go. Looking at, calendar for the next 90 days, getting things on my calendar. We've got some out of state trainings coming up, workshops that Addison and I are doing. So that kind of stuff, making sure that that's all pieced together. Looking at, how can I delegate? And delegation's a big one, right? How can I delegate different things out? Who can I pull in to help me get things accomplished so that I can actually take on the new year the way I want? Because one of my big time goals for 2019 is to double my income. So to take that to the next 6-figure level, I means that I need to free up different spaces in my life to be able to achieve what I need and focus in on what I need to do. I've also been looking at, I've been doing trainings and trying to figure out like, okay, what is it that I need in my self-education? What do I need to really implement right now? Don't get overwhelmed by doing 1,000,001 little things, but what are the big ticket things that I can do that I can really take in, absorb, digest, and transfer over into my actual actions? And that goes right down to my personal life as well. I've got lots of different things. I've got invitations to 1,000,001 things. I could fill my calendar with probably 3 events every single day that would take me away from what I want, what I actually need to be doing, and probably what I want to be doing. Because as much as I love socializing and I love being wined and dined and being around people that I love, there are a time that my life has to become priority to the play, to the party. And doing what you want sometimes means that you have to say no to all the activities, because those activities can definitely be sidetracks to getting you to exactly where you want to be. I mean, if you're out and you're out, you know, socializing and partying every single night during the month of December, then you're not really going to have the energy to get up in the morning and hit things hard and crank things out. So pick and choose your social activities. Really get down to what you really want to do in there. What is the most priority for you? Who are that make them the most meaningful events versus just going to say, hey, I went to 50 events in the month of December. Woo! What did you actually get done? Oh, I went to 50 events in the month of December, but my whole life crashed. Yeah, that's not going to be beneficial, okay? So sometimes you got to pull back. Yesterday I talked about being the rubber band and pulling back. And this is kind of on the same tone as that. In these moments, you've got to look at where can you pull back so that you can actually spring forward in the near future. That pullback is going to give you that space to really do that house cleaning that you need to do and get your shit accomplished. That all leads to what? That leads to that feeling of clarity, that feeling of certainty, and you're going to have a certain amount of joy. Once you start seeing the results, you're going to start seeing joy forming in your life as well, because you're just going to start feeling better. Taking a lot of big ticket items off of your list definitely reduces the weight on you, so then you start feeling good, and it's kind of hard not to feel good. So guess what? You become more grateful, you become more joyous, you become more happy, right? And happiness is a beautiful thing. It's something that we all want to feel. It's something that I hope you want to express. I hope you want to gift the people in your life with your own joy, because, hey, what is it? We all say, you know, a smile makes a world of difference. If we just walk into a room and we give one person a smile, we potentially can completely change their life. It's good for us. It's good for them. Everybody's happier when everybody's smiling. And we're talking about truthful smiles, truthful laughs, truthful, giggles, that truthful connection of joy. How can you go about doing that? Really look for the opportunities to do that. As you're looking at that priority list, look for the opportunities to bring joy into your life. I know that, it's the events that I really try to say yes to are the ones that I know that I'm going to find joy in. And I'm more likely to say yes to those because there's plenty of events that I go, oh, I should go to that for this networking purpose. I should go to that because I haven't gone to their event forever. I should go to that because I haven't seen that person forever. But then when I really tap in and feel into myself, I notice that it doesn't feel good. So it's out of alignment to what I want to do or what I need to do. It's not going to get me to where I want because I'm just not feeling joy around it. Now, if I feel excitement around something, completely different game. That's what I'm going to lean into. I'm going to try to focus in on and go, hey, I feel excitement, enthusiasm, joy. There's this person and there's just a happiness, a spark there. It's an ignition of energy and of connection. And that's what you need to look for. Who ignites you and how can, does that bring up that joy feeling inside your body? Lean towards that stuff. I was up late doing videos last night and then I went to sleep, and we've had some break-ins in my neighborhood. So I fell asleep hearing all the cracks and little movements of my house. And a little intimacy share here. Last night was the first time in 8 years, okay? Last night was the first time in 8 years that I was alone at home where there was not another soul in my house. And it was an amazing, beautiful experience because my house was just so nice and quiet. I'm so used to having at least one other person, more than likely 3-4 other people in my house at all times. I mean, mom of 7, right? I've always got kids coming and going, and I've got that age bracket of, from almost 4 up to 23 in my house. And then I have, friends and family and a boyfriend and all this different, the men coming and, my male friends, all this different stuff. So there's always this hustle and bustle of energy around me that I'm not used to being alone. And it's something that I crave. And I feel like God gave me one of the best Christmas presents right before Christmas because I really, truly needed just that space. And I've been asking in my heart and soul just to have just this nothing space, because everybody's like, oh, you should just go have some alone time. That's easier said than done when you have a life like mine. It's really, I'm constant, and I have, anybody who knows me knows the activity level of my house, and that is just constant. So right now, my house is still, it's quiet. I mean, yeah, my daughters came in to steal my car, but they were here for maybe 3 minutes, and just long enough for me to make my coffee, and they came to grab keys, asked me a question, and left. But from all last night, and it was just this stillness, and it was just so beautiful and so amazing. And then of course, this is the night that I get alerted to break-ins in my neighborhood. The night that I am actually home all by myself is when I've been told also, oh, there's break-ins in your neighborhood. Like there's and I was just looking at different things, and I don't scare. I mean, I'm not scared of getting broken into. I've had a break-in in the past, and I grew up in a really poor area in Northern California, and just, you know, lots of stuff. So it doesn't scare me, but it was interesting because I felt myself on such a high alert status last night as I was falling asleep, and I'm having a conversation with myself laying in bed. My bed was so freaking cold, and I don't know. The house was cold last night, and I did not want to turn up my heater because I'm like, I'm just going to bed. I don't like sleeping in the heat. I like my house to be cool at night. So I'm laying there, and I'm trying to get my blankets warmed up, and I'm all snuggled up, and I got all my pillows. I got a lot of pillows on my bed, so I got all my pillows wrapped around me, and I'm just all snuggled up, and I hear the creaks and the cracks and all this different stuff. And I was just like, all of a sudden, my fear kicked in for a second, and I went, wow, that's interesting. Like, you know, what are you scared of? There's nothing. If you had 2 kids in the house with you, what difference would that make? Like, nobody's going to be able to, if somebody broke in, somebody's going to break in. There's no fucking big difference as to this moment compared to last night, compared to 3 nights ago or a week ago. If that's going to happen, it's going to happen. But I heard the noises, and I would just, like, my eyes would pop open, and I was tripping out on that space. And then as I laid there, I started thinking about sex, which brings me to my next topic for Conscious Coffee, right? The 3 things that we need to focus in on moving into to complete our new year in the best possible way is to really clean up our shit, to that house cleaning, to focus in on joy, really focus in on the things that you're aligned to that bring you joy, and sex. Sex is definitely another piece to the joyous closing of a new year, starting a new year, closing of an old year, starting a new year puzzle here. And I was laying there, and now you might think that I'm going to tell you some masturbation tale. I'm not going to tell you a masturbation tale, okay? That's not what happened. That was earlier in the day. Had sex earlier in the day and masturbated yesterday. I had like a sexy day going on yesterday. I was very high sexual energy yesterday. But I laid there, and I'm just snuggled up, and after I dozed off, I was thinking, one of my parting thoughts to myself was, I really need to just open and just completely release. Like, I need to open and completely release. And I was thinking about my sex, because I've been so restricted in my sex that I've noticed that I'm just kind of holding back in these different areas. Like, I'm having a tough time vocalizing. I've told my partner this, like, I have a tough time vocalizing, and I don't know why. That's not normal for me. And then I'm also like, my orgasm gets to this point, and then it comes up, but then it just kind of fizzles. And I found that my brain will, in those moments, my thoughts are flipping from, I'm leaving my body consciousness, and I'm moving into thinking. And I'm moving outside of that presence with self, with my partner, and start thinking about this or about that. And that takes me away from this beautiful opening of orgasm and this complete receiving of the pleasure. So there I was last night, and this was my thoughts to myself of that, you know, I really need to just I need to open up more. I really need to receive more. I just need, what's it going to take for me to just completely drop down into my body, let that shit go, and really lean in? And I was like, well, it's just going to take me focusing in on it, and like just really probably having a lot of sex, and just like really pushing myself with the idea of that I'm going to open. And as I drifted off, I woke up this morning. I didn't wake up, but when I woke up, I had the memory of my dream last night. So my dream last night, you're going to laugh at this. My dream last night was of the sexual experience, and And it was a dream about me squirting all over the place, except my squirt was actually more like powder. It was like baby powder up. And there was this loud pop that happened in my dream. It was this really loud bam, like that. And when it went bam, this white powder just went everywhere. This white powder went everywhere. And I remember looking down at my genitals, and I remember seeing that there was like this white powder on my hands, and it was on my stomach. It was all over my genitals, and it was all over where I was at. And I remember just laughing. In my dream, I started laughing. I at first went, what the hell was, like, what was that? I was like, because I felt all the pressure. I felt all the warmth of what squirting would happen, and and the noises of squirting and everything. So this moment of actually very deep orgasmic release was happening, and then it went pop, and it was this powder. So if anybody knows me, you know that I used to do dream interpretation for about 10 years. I was dream interpretation coach, spirituality coach, back in my 20s up in Seattle. And I built a whole website based on dream interpretation way back in the day. HTML, coded it myself. I know more about that shit than what I ever want to admit, but I just admitted it, didn't I? So, yep. I never want to do that again. Thank God for today's systems and all the ease that things have been. But I used to do dream interpretation for people, and I was very, very focused in on it. And I do believe in the power of the dream language and the messages that we get told through our dreams. So what this message and why I share it with you is because I think, number one, we have a tough time with sexual experiences in our dreams. I know that a lot of people are hesitant around even having sex in their dreams, or about allowing themselves to go all the way in their sex in their dreams. I want to tell you that you need to go all the way in the sex in your dreams. If you have a dream and you start to have sex and you have hesitation, if there's any way that you can get that message to yourself to just lean in and let it happen, that it is going to be extremely powerful for your external world as well. Because sex is all about creativity. It's all about our creative energy. It's all about personal power. It's all about opening and receiving. It's all about bliss. I'm really, truly just proclaiming and claiming your power as a person. So to just be able to really take it on. So sexy dreams are really good dreams to have. And this particular dream, this great big pop, as I'm looking at it from a translation perspective, I'm going to say that big pop is kind of like that awakening of that energy. Everything that I went to bed with was just like, that space, that clearing, right? And then there was fear around it. And then what my thoughts started going, I need to release. Well, that pop, much like the pressure underneath, if some things you have them lidded, and when you unlid them, they go pop, right? Because of the pressure that's there. Well, that dream was very, very clear to me that I have a massive amount of pressure in my system that needs to be let out. It needs to be let out. And here's the funny thing. It was what I thought it was, and it wasn't what I thought it was, all at the same time, right? So in this dream, I realized that it's going to be female ejaculation. I'm a squirting sensation, which in truth, I don't think I've ever squirted in a dream before. That's kind of interesting. But, there was that squirting moment. So I had all that sensation. And as I leaned into it in my dream, what ended up happening was all this powder came, right? Like, I came dust all over the place. Well, the message there is that if I don't open up, if letting myself sit and hold everything that I've been holding and not clearing it out and not opening is truly just creating just that, this dryness, this coming of powder. So it will change my ability to receive. Not that I'm going to not be able to receive, that holding will change my receiving as to what it looks like, what it actually manifests like. And it may not be exactly what I thought it would be, but it's still there. It's going to manifest. But there's a hell of a lot of it from the looks of my dream, but it's definitely a different change. So I need to make those choices as to what I want it to manifest as, and that an opening must take place in order for that to happen. So, that coming of dust in my dream is really that if I don't if I don't fully just tap in and follow my soul access it, then I need to be a little cautious there, because I could be coming dust. And no pun intended, as far as like guys who, like we talk about coming and coming dust with men all the time. Oh man, he came so many times that he was coming dust. Well, that just means that there's no more creative energy there. So to pay attention and to really access and tap into that right then, and just let that creativity go so that you don't end up becoming dust. Sex, and the reason why I bring it up for the end of the year and give you this personal share, which I never share my dreams openly because they are very personal in my opinion. They speak a whole language. And anybody who knows dreams, it's kind of like you're really tapping into somebody's deep psyche and everything that's going on. So as I shared that dream with you, of me coming dust, I also want to focus you in on the actual sexual aspect. And notice as I was translating that dream and the things that I was saying, sex is about opening us up to creation. It is about opening us up to certainty. It is about building confidence. It's about embodiment. It's about really, truly becoming present. Good gourmet sex has to have those things involved. You have to be open, you have to be connected, you have to be present in your body, and you have to be really just in that space of receiving, and through your receiving, you are also giving. And just having that confidence. There's nothing worse than somebody laying in bed with their partner and getting caught up on what they look like or how they might be perceived in the middle of such a beautiful act. Because I guarantee you, ladies, I am talking to you. The guy doesn't care. Guys, if you're concerned about what you're offering down below, stop being so concerned. If she really didn't, if she was not interested in it, she would have run out of the room before, when she saw things. Okay, and if she's still there, then don't worry about what you're offering. Okay. And if not, then it's on the other person, right? Because we all have free will, and we should be able to say, I'm not interested anymore, and it'd be fine. But tapping into your sexual energy, especially right now as we close this year and we move into the next year, number one, you're going to feel better about yourself. There's so much joy and bliss and happiness that comes from it. But if you really want to achieve your goals, I'm going to really focus you in on this little key aspect of sex, because sex is all of that. It will make you feel confident. It's going to help you embody yourself. It's going to help you become more present in yourself if you're doing it right. If you are focused on that, if you're just focused in on the mechanics, then you're caught up on the mechanics and you're completely losing the whole beauty and point of really good sex. You're not having gourmet sex. It is not about the climax. It is about the whole moment and the full amount of receiving and really truly opening up to that beauty. So if you want to really create those things that you want in your life, also realize that the creation process starts here with our physical body and how we are enacting in it the things that we want to pull in. So you want blessings, you want connection, you want to learn about presence, you want to learn about openness, you want to learn about creativity. Your bedroom can teach you all of these things. Alone or with a partner, you can learn about so many of these things in that intimate act of sexing. Not to mention, it's going to make you feel better. It's going to add more joy to your life. It's going to make you just physically feel better. How many calories do you burn while you're doing those, hey gentlemen, like the planking exercises that you're doing during those moments? Think about the exercise that you're getting, right? So it's also good for your body. Good for your body, good for your mind, good for your emotions, and good for your creative energy. So, get to your sexing. Get to lots of sexing. Laugh. Laugh during your sexing. Yes, allow yourself to laugh. There's nothing, in my opinion, better than after you have a really good orgasm and you just can't help and you cannot contain yourself and you just start to like giggle a little bit. It's really a good thing. So let that laughter out. Stop holding in your expressions in those moments, because if you're holding them in those moments, where else are you holding them in? You're not going to be able to see everything in your life as clearly as you could. And if you can open up in your sex, I guarantee you that you're going to start viewing the rest of your life a whole lot different as well. So clear out the shit, do your housekeeping, get prioritized, focus in on joy, focus in on laughter, on play, Tap into the important things. Make them the meaningful things. Don't say yes to everything just because it's Christmas and New Year's. Say yes to the things that you want to say yes to. This is about, all three of these is about going inward, tapping into your core, getting into alignment, and being a fucking yes to the one and only that you need to be a yes to, which is you, which might say, hey, no, I'm not going to come to that party. Sorry. No, I'm not going to let my time be caught up with this or with that. And, oh, no, I don't want to just have duty sex just because you need to get off. I actually want to have connective sex. So if you're on board with having connective sex, then yay. So get right with all of those things, okay? All of those things. Tap back in. What feels good to you? What feels good right here to you? Really, truly feel it. Be a fuck yes to yourself at all cost. And I tell you what, if you can do that, 2019 is going to be an amazing, amazing year. That I promise you. That's what my plan is for 2019, is to really tap in, get embodied, be present, prioritize, back things up that I need to back up to, and finish that. Go have a joyous time. Go have sexy times in and out of the bedroom. Connect with the people that I love and enjoy the most. Open the fuck up and just get receiving. So come with me. Come enjoy the receiving. Come enjoy your life. Make 2019 a fucking awesome year. And since this is Christmas Eve, oh my goodness, it is Christmas Eve. I hope that everybody has a very Merry Christmas. I will be telling you very Merry Christmas tomorrow morning, because before everybody gets up, I plan on being on here. I'm going to get my butt up and I'm going to do Conscious Coffee on Christmas morning. I did that last year. I think that was really valuable. So I definitely will be doing Conscious Coffee tomorrow morning here with you guys as well. So let me see. I feel completion. I feel good about all that. And what can I'm going to go ahead and re-announce. Yesterday I launched His, Hers, and Ours. This is my newest course that is out as an online course. So it is available to everybody in the whole world. It's accessible on my website. And it's about $2,000 worth of content, but I'm offering it for a very, 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 like I don't know what the percentage is because I suck at math, but I'm offering it for $149. It is an academy of 69 videos, 69 videos on there. So it has everything for you gentlemen, for you ladies, and for you couples, singles and couples. This is a beautiful academy for you. It's going to teach you all the things that you might want to know. I talk about tantric sex in there. I talk about confidence in the bedroom. I talk about what men want, what women want, the things that guys do to ruin their sex, what sexually healthy men are about, how to get your partner to commit. Yeah, ladies, that's a good one, right? How to get your guy to commit, how to be absolutely irresistible to the opposite sex, all of the stuff that and so much more. And I mean, 69 videos, it's about 8 hours worth of training. So Addison has been so kind to add the link here. Go explore that. It is a limited time offer. And thank you for all your comments. I see a few people have popped on here. And I just see this comment down here at the bottom, and I'm going to just address it really, really quick because that's what Conscious Coffee is, and I would not be a good coach if I ignored a comment that definitely needs to be addressed. So I see a comment from Theodore here that everything sounds good, but most likely will not happen. And Theodore, I just want to tell you, it's all in your thinking. If you say it will, it will. If you say it won't, it won't. So change your thinking. Change your thinking, love. It can happen. I promise you that it can happen. But if you believe that it's not going to happen, then it sure the fuck won't happen. Okay? If I believe that I'm only going to make $10,000 this next year, guess what? Then I'm only going to make $10,000 this next year. That's what's going to happen. If I believe that I'm going to make $300,000 this next year, then that's what's going to happen. I'm going to get a lot better chance to make that if I actually put my attention to it. I really suggest that you look at a lot of what those thoughts are, how you're translating them into your emotions, because thoughts equal emotions, emotions equal actions, and the way we are presenting ourselves comes from the thoughts we are thinking and the emotions we are feeling. When we are feeling like shit about ourselves, when we are having negative stinking thinking, as I call it, that stinking thinking, the people around us, as we move forward and we connect with people, that is what they're met by. we can be saying anything. We can look however we want to look. And you wonder why people turn away, and you wonder why people can't get right. It's because of the stinking thinking that's going on. That energy that you present to people, that is what people read. That is what people lean into. Their answers of yes and no come from how you are presenting yourself. So, biggest, and thank you, Steve. Don't be your biggest obstacle. The biggest obstacle that we each have, every single person has this obstacle, and it's called ourself. Okay, it's called ourself. But we can get out of the way of ourselves by just focusing in and becoming the witness to those negative thoughts and realizing that they are not ours. Don't own the bullshit. Instead, own what you want. Start claiming what you want. Start thinking what you want. Focus in on the littlest of things. Focus in on gratitude. Focus in on the love that you have. Focus in on the good things that you have. Because guess what? If you focus in on feeling good right now, on being happy right now, then God, the universe, is going to pull more of that shit to you that's going to make you feel good and happy right now. And then you just kind of build that snowball effect, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But if you're focused in on something not happening, then you're just going to draw more of things not happening the way you want into your life. Okay, so I'm not going to go off on a total rant on that. Everybody knows that I can. Theodore, I suggest you go back through, look at different conscious coffees that I have on here. Go to my coaching page, go to YouTube. I have tons and tons and tons of videos out there. There's probably about 400 videos at this time that's floating around on different stuff like this just from me alone. I know that Addison has a whole bunch as well. And I also suggest go pay attention to some Abraham Hicks. Go listen to Abraham Hicks stuff. Google that and really just get in there and get some powerful stuff on that, because I can tell you what, I have had some real shit happen in my life, and if I focused in on it, I would have had more shit happen if I really held on to that. You can make it through some of the worst challenges, and you can change your life like that. I can't change the reality of other. Nope, you can't change the reality of anybody else, but you can change the reality of yourself right here, which will change your circle of others. Okay, so I love you guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning, Christmas morning. As always, stop existing, start living, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure that if you are a couple, a single, and you are interested in really creating that killer romance for the new year, check out His, Hers, and Ours. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.